Cast your minds back around 356 BC, the era of Alexander the Great. Born in the heart of ancient Macedonia, Alexander was destined to shape the world like no other. His lineage was steeped in royalty, and his blood enriched with the courage of his ancestors. From the moment he took his first breath, the echoes of his future greatness reverberated through the walls of his father's palace. As a young boy, Alexander exhibited signs of courage and intellect that were far beyond his years. It was as if he was born with an innate understanding of leadership and strategy, qualities that would later define his rule. His sharp mind and indomitable spirit caught the attention of many, but it was the great philosopher Aristotle who saw the true potential in this young prince. Under Aristotle's tutelage, Alexander honed his intellect, learning the intricacies of philosophy, politics, and science. This was a time of growth, a time when the seed of greatness within him was watered and nurtured. But as we all know, legends are not born in times of peace. They are born in the crucible of challenge and adversity. The assassination of Alexander's father in 336 BC was such a crucible. It was a turning point, a moment that thrust Alexander from the world of learning and philosophy into the unforgiving realm of power and politics. With his father's blood still fresh on the Macedonian throne, Alexander stepped up, claimed his birthright, and ascended to power. This was a time of change, a time when the kingdom held its breath, unsure of what the future held. But in Alexander they saw not just a young king, but a leader, a visionary, a man ready to carve his destiny with his own hands. Thus, a young man with a mind cultivated by Aristotle and a heart filled with courage found himself on the throne of Macedonia. With the crown came the ambition to conquer. Alexander, now the ruler of Macedonia, began setting his sights on greater horizons. His eyes were on the vast Persian Empire, a formidable force that stretched across 3 continents. Alexander's military campaigns were nothing short of brilliant. His forces, though often outnumbered, were strategically superior. His first major victory came at the Battle of Issus. Here he demonstrated his military genius by using the terrain to his advantage, turning the Persian army's size against itself. The victory at Issus was a turning point, marking the beginning of a series of conquests that would define his reign. Following Issus, he led his troops to Gaugamela, where he faced the Persian king Darius in what would become one of the most significant battles in history. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander's forces outmaneuvered the Persians, securing a decisive victory. The Battle of Gaugamela marked the end of Persian resistance, and Alexander, in a move that shocked both his allies and enemies, proclaimed himself King of Persia. With each victory, Alexander's empire grew, stretching from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India. His ambition seemed limitless, his victories a testament to his strategic brilliance and indomitable spirit. Each conquered city added to his growing realm, each victory a testament to his military genius. But with great power came great responsibility. As he continued to expand his empire, Alexander faced increasing challenges. Maintaining control over such a vast territory required strategic planning, careful diplomacy, and a keen understanding of the diverse cultures within his realm. And so, the young king forged the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen. The name Alexander would echo through the ages, his conquests shaping the course of history, his legacy a testament to the power of ambition and the potential of human achievement. Yet it wasn't all grand victories and smooth sailing. Alexander's journey to greatness was fraught with internal challenges, as compelling as his external conquests. The man who dared to dream of a united world, who reached out to the ends of the known earth, also grappled with turmoil within his own ranks. Resistance brewed among his men, a storm beneath the seeming calm. These were the soldiers who had journeyed with him, shared his dreams, and fought by his side. Yet, as the campaign wore on, fatigue set in. There was a growing longing for home, a weariness of the endless battles, and a simmering discontent that threatened to erupt. And erupt it did. The pages of history are stained with the blood of his loyal generals, men who had stood by Alexander, only to meet a tragic end. The executions of Parmenion and Philotas, once his trusted allies, sent shockwaves through the ranks. The implications of these actions were far-reaching, sowing seeds of doubt and fear among his men. The camaraderie of the early days was replaced by a tense silence, the joy of shared victories now overshadowed by the spectre of suspicion. But perhaps the greatest battle Alexander fought was with his own paranoia. As his empire grew, so did his apprehensions. His mind, once the cradle of grand strategies, was now a battlefield of doubts and fears. He saw enemies lurking in the shadows, traitors in the faces of his friends. His once clear vision was clouded by mistrust, and he found himself isolated in his own kingdom. In this intricate tapestry of conquests and conflicts, we see a different facet of Alexander. Not just the invincible warrior, the visionary king, but also a man, vulnerable to his own insecurities and fears. A man who, at the height of his power, was grappling with the weight of his own crown. Even the greatest of kings must wrestle with their own demons. Alexander's story is a stark reminder that the path to greatness is not without its trials, and that even amidst victories and accolades, the echoes of internal struggles can never be silenced. But Alexander's reign wasn't only about wars and conquests. Indeed, his rule was as much about fostering cross-cultural exchange as it was about military victories. Take his marriage to Roxanne, a Sogdian woman, for instance. This wasn't just a personal choice. It was a strategic decision that demonstrated a willingness to embrace and integrate different cultures. This was a significant shift from the prevailing norms of the time, and it set a precedent for cultural blending that would become a hallmark of his reign. Alexander's campaign didn't stop at Persia. His thirst for conquest led him further east, into the heart of India. This was uncharted territory for the Greeks, but Alexander's audacity and curiosity knew no bounds. His venture into India wasn't just geographically significant, it was a cultural milestone. For the first time, the Greek world was opened up to the rich, diverse tapestry of Indian culture, its philosophy, its art, its science. But Alexander's influence extended far beyond his lifetime. His reign ushered in the Hellenistic period, a time of significant cultural fusion. In this era, Greek culture spread across the regions Alexander had conquered, mingling with local traditions to create a unique blend of Hellenistic culture. This was a time of tremendous intellectual and artistic growth, where Greek thought and ideas were disseminated far and wide, forever changing the face of the ancient world. Alexander's cultural influence was as impactful as his military conquests. His reign marked a shift in how cultures interacted and learned from each other. It wasn't just territories that were conquered, it was minds and hearts too. The world under Alexander was a melting pot of cultures, forever shaping the course of history. His legacy is a testament to the power of cultural exchange and the profound impact it can have on the trajectory of human civilization. Now, let's delve into some lesser-known facets of Alexander the Great. His life, as grand and impactful as it was, had its share of peculiarities and mysteries. First up, it's been noted that Alexander the Great had a surprising phobia, ailurophobia, or the fear of cats. It's hard to imagine such a formidable conqueror being afraid of our feline friends, but it appears that even the great were not without their quirks. Next, while Alexander's death has been a subject of debate among historians, some believe that the cause of his demise was not war, but illness. Malaria or typhoid fever have been suggested, while others propose poisoning. The truth, like many aspects of his life, remains shrouded in mystery. A third fascinating fact is the claim made by his mother, Olympias, about his birth. She insisted that her son was not of mere mortal origin, but was in fact the son of Zeus, the king of the gods. This divine claim shaped Alexander's perception of himself and his destiny, fueling his relentless pursuit of global domination. A fourth fact, he named more than 70 cities after himself, and one after his horse. Alexander immortalized his conquests through the establishment of numerous cities, often constructed upon pre-existing military strongholds, all bearing the name Alexandria. Lastly, the final resting place of Alexander the Great is a mystery that continues to perplex historians. While it's believed that he was initially buried in Memphis, Egypt, his tomb was later moved to Alexandria. However, its exact location remains unknown, adding another layer of intrigue to his already enigmatic life. And there you have it, 5 lesser-known facts about the man who sought to conquer the world. If you enjoyed this journey through time, do subscribe for more 10-minute timelines.